Well, hello and welcome to this midday market mood check with me, Nandita, Khemka, and my colleague Yatin, Mota. Well, Yatin, it's turning out to be quite a good Monday.
Yeah.
Although we've come off from days high, the Sensex had reclaimed that 61,000 mark. It was up somewhere around 450 points at one point. It has slipped off that 61,000 mark, but the Nifty is holding on to that 18,100
Correct.
mark. Well, today it's all about banks in the trading session. You know, ICICI Bank and Kotak Bank reported stellar set of numbers with net interest margins coming in at a record high for ICICI Bank and even Kotak Bank for that matter. A strong set of numbers coming in from there. But one bank that's standing out in today's session is Yes Bank.
Yeah.
Numbers were poor. Plus, there's another development where Bombay High Court has quashed the write-off of the additional Tier 1 bonds to the tune of 8,400 crore rupees. But the bank will be appealing against the ruling in Supreme Court, and in fact, the RBI will also be joining in. Throw some light on this development and how it impacts the investors.
So, Yes Bank obviously is the stock in focus. Friday during the market hours, there was a Bombay High Court ruling. Obviously, the lawyers' view, the bank orders, all these happened on the weekend in terms of the dissemination of information. Plus, the quarterly results were also there. Talking first about the quarterly results, we had a sequential decline in net interest margins and a sequential decline in net interest income. So on both counts, results were slightly poor, given the fact that other banks are showing quite strong results. So clearly, the results were slightly disappointing. And there was an overhang of this 81 bonds, which is the additional Tier 1 bonds, which were written off when the scheme of reconstitution of Yes Bank was announced. Obviously, there are some technicalities which the Bombay High Court found in the write-off of the 81 bonds and the administrator's role in writing off those bonds. Obviously, apart from RBI, there was also government order. So a lot of technicalities, lot of complexities when it comes to the judgment and the kind of events which happened around this writing off of 81 bonds when Yes Bank was rescued by the central government and SBI. Obviously, the order as per the communication that we had with the banks and the government officials, it was clear that this will be challenged in the Supreme Court. Obviously, it is yet to be seen if they get a relief from the Supreme Court, if the Supreme Court maintains Bombay High Court order. So there will be an overhang, given the fact that 8,300 crores is a huge sum for Yes Bank to really pay off its bondholders. So it will be closely seen as to how really things develop, and probably because of poor results and the Bombay High Court order, the stock is down even 8% right now.
It was actually down somewhere around 12% at one point, but recouped some of those losses. Another thing that's in focus today is the auto basket. Most of these companies like Maruti, M&M and Eicher Motors were among the top gainers. Remember, Maruti and Tata Motors will be reporting their numbers this week as well. HUL has managed to recoup losses after it plunged on the back of that royalty hike news. What's doing well in today's session is the Midcap IT basket as well. The Persistent Systems and Co-Forges are once again rallying on the back of strong earnings and guidance revision that they had done last week. Ultratech Cement, I want to talk about that. That stock was the top Nifty loser. The profits saw a 40% drop and the realizations are pretty weak. On the back of that, those shares, in fact, Ultratech was the top Nifty loser in today's session. Aside of that, when you look at the Nifty 500 pack, delivery was among the top gainers on Nifty 500. And even Canfin Homes, I think there's been a brokerage upgrade on the back of which it's rallying somewhere around 5% or thereabouts. Any of these other mid-cap buzzers that you're picking up on news flow?
So we have Torrent Power, which is doing well in trade. Obviously, the futures will be discontinued, and that's not a good news or a bad news, but stock is up 5%. Bandhan Bank reported stable set of earnings, but the management is quite confident that from here on, asset quality should do well, net interest margins will improve, and also they said that from here on the book will be diversified away from the microfinance book, which is quite traditional. So that stock is up 4%. From the losers, we have Infibeam, JSW Energy and Atul. These are the stocks which are down almost 3-4%. But look at the 52-week high list today. We have Engineers India, that stock is up 2%, new 52-week high. IDFC Limited, Adani Total Gas, APL Apollo. These are the other stocks which have hit fresh 52-week highs. Obviously, now we are almost in the budget mode. Next week, we have the budget, which is quite
just about
event.
7 to 8 trading sessions again.
Yeah, so that is how it is, and obviously this week is truncated. Thursday we have a Republic Day holiday. Friday we again resume trade. So things are not really, if we say in momentum, but yes, the markets are holding up and holding above that 18,100 mark as far as the Nifty is concerned.
Yeah, we'll have to see that the upper band that most analysts were talking about was 18,200. We have to see whether we can sustain those levels. In fact, I was speaking to Mr. Bhasin in the morning, and he said that he's expecting levels of 18,500 next week itself.
Right.
So that is another level that we will be watching out for. But today we will be watching out for Axis Bank earnings that will be coming out post-market hours. And all in all, it's a smooth trading session. We'll just have to see whether or not these kind of gains sustain by the time we close for trade today. Well, with that, we are done on this midday market mood check. But do stay tuned for all your other financial market updates on Moneycontrol.
1st February 2023, the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will present the last full union budget before 2024 elections. India's most awaited financial event comes in the midst of global slowdown, inflation, liquidity tightening, geopolitical tensions, and re-emergence of COVID-19. Will India look to fire up its manufacturing? Will India build a moat against global uncertainties? What will the budget have for the middle class? Watch the complete coverage of Budget 2023. Real-time analysis, expert takes all day on Moneycontrol. Log on to www.moneycontrol.com for more.